Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last video, we went ahead and made Jill's arm. And today, we are going to start working on her face. Now, the face is one of the most complicated parts of a character to make, and this may take more than one video. So, let's not waste any time and just dive right in. Now, there are a number of ways to make a face, but I like James Taylor's approach with starting off with a couple cylinders. So let me drop in a cylinder here, and I'm going to bring this up to about face level, jump into my front view. I'm going to turn off my body. I'm going to select that, hit H just to hide it. And I'll take this cylinder, and I'm going to position it right about here. Let's go to polycylinder, scroll down to the number of subdivisions. Let's make this 8, and then we're going to delete the bottom section. So I'll go into face selection, grab the bottom section, delete it, and now we have just this cap here. I'm going to go up to object selection, and then I will hit center pivot. That's going to center that up for me. Hit E to rotate, hold down the J key, and let's rotate this forward. So that should give us a nice 90-degree rotation on the X. And I'm going to position this over the lips. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control D to duplicate, and I'll put the new one over the eye. So we're going to start off with the lips and the eyes. And the reason for this is you can make the whole head out of like a cube or something, but at some point you're going to have to cut a spot for the eye and cut a spot for the mouth. And it's much harder to add that later on than it is to build geometry around that shape. So we're going to start off this way. I'm going to dive into the mouth section here. Let's make sure that this is good and centered. That should be pretty much at 0 on the X. And let's go into vertex selection. I will turn on symmetry. I'll just start shaping up the mouth here. So I'll grab that corner. You can see that my widget is at a weird angle. That just means that I happen to be in component selection. I'm going to hold down W and then left click. And then I'll go to world. There we go. Now I can pull that out to the corners. I'll grab these and I'll pull those out to here. Kind of the same thing on the lower lip. And then up here, I want to make a spot for that little divot on the lip that's called the philtrum. But I don't have enough geometry. So let's reroute some of these edges. To do that, I'm going to go into edge selection. I'm going to grab all of the edges on this front face. Just go ahead and drag select. Hold down shift, hold down right click, and then go down to connect components. That's going to create a loop inside for us. And that's going to make life a lot easier. You can see we have a little bit more geometry here. That's good. We just reshape some of this. Make the corner of the mouth. Start structuring that lip. Okay. And then these crisscross pieces right here, this one and this one down here, we can cut those off like that. And let's go ahead and cut an edge through here. So I'll go get my multi-cut tool, and I'll cut from here, and I'll just very carefully cut down through the lip. And now I have enough geometry to start building up that philtrum. So I can pull these up and get that Cupid's bow shape. Yeah, looks good. Now this whole time I've been working in the front view, I do need to take a look from the side. So let's go into my side view. And from here, our shape is actually difficult to see. You can see it's just this straight line. Let's go into object selection. I'll get my move tool, and let's move the whole thing about to here, actually. Now we're going to use this for the depth. Now remember that our front and side images are not quite perfect, so we're going to have to be very careful about the positioning. I want to be in a 2 view. Okay. To maximize my 2 view, I'm going to go over to the 2 view option here. I'm going to click that. And now I'm going to have this view here. And over here, I happen to have my perspective. I really want to be in a orthographic. So I'm going to go to panel here, and then come down to orthographic, and I will choose my side. There we go. And I don't need my channel box open. I'll close that to maximize my view. And I can even close my outliner by clicking that. That's real good. Okay. So I'm going to use my front view so I know what piece I'm grabbing, because over here I have no idea. So up here on the Filtrum, I'll grab these. Go ahead and hit Q so I can turn off the widget there. That, this, and this. So these parts of the lip, I'm going to move that forward to about here. I'm going to deselect the middle by using Control Click. And then I can move these sections a little bit more forward. Okay. Let's go down to the next part of the lip here. This guy and this guy. Again, I hit Q to turn off my move tool. That way I can see what I'm doing. And then over here, I'll turn my move tool on, and I need to move these up a little bit, so I'll move them forward like so. The corner of the mouth, that's going to be a bit tricky because we do need to have part of the corner back here, but we need part of the corner up front. So I'm going to leave that where it's at. Let me go ahead and grab these. I'm going to move those out to about here. And then this bottom section, I'm going to move that mostly forward to the bottom of the lip here. And then I'll take that center, and I'll move that the rest of the way. Okay. Now I'll take this center line all the way across. Let's move that up. I think that's probably good enough there. Let me get the real centerpiece here. Move that more forward. And this is roughly our lip shape. Let's go back into our perspective view. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Let's take a look at what we've got. Object mode, and I'll hit F to frame. We've got this kind of shape. It's pretty good. But yeah, I can see from my perspective view that I need to round this out. So I'll grab these, pull them forward, kind of move them out to the side. Got to try to round that a little bit better. This Filtrum is very deep, or the Cupid's bow section. I'll just move that forward some more. And then like down here on the lip, I'm going to guide these out and just kind of round the position. There we go. That's a lot better. And now I can start adding some detail on the inner part of the lip here. So right here, this would be like the upper section of the lip right around here. That's this. But we have the little soft tissue that's down here. That's what this is. To make that work, I'll go into face selection. And let's grab this inner piece like so. And I will hit extrude. And I'm going to turn off symmetry. I'm going to hit the little box here, and then grab the scale tool, and then left click and drag. It's going to give us an extra loop inside the lip here. And I think that's pretty good. I'm going to hit Q to get rid of my tool, and then I'm going to delete this section here. So delete, and now we have the opening for the mouth. And we can shape this to make a closed mouth. So I'm going to go into vertex selection. I'll grab the corner, grab my symmetry tool, turn that on. Really get this corner. I'll pull that back some. Get these on the top here. I'm going to pull those down. And I want to get the lower lip, and I want to pull these up and pretty much tuck the lower lip up against the upper lip here. Now Jill's mouth, if we look from her side view, is very, very far back. And you can actually see, because I went into my 2 view, my side view and my perspective are kind of flipped. If that bugs you, you can flip them manually. So I go to Panel, change that to Perspective. That's where it usually is. And then Panel, go down to Orthographic and get your side view. That's where it usually is. And I'll turn X-ray on over here. So Shading, X-ray. And you can see that her lower lip is really far back, just the way they drew the character. So knowing that, I'm going to move the lip a little bit more forward as I work. So very easy to do. I'll grab this one. I'm going to hold down the V key, and then I will snap to here. This one, hold down V, snap here. This one, hold down V, and then drag to the middle. So now we have this, and then to open the mouth, we're going to go just under the lip here. And depending on where you hover your mouse, depends on which vertex you grab. So if I go over the vertex and click, I'm grabbing the top vertices. If I go below the vertex and click, I'm grabbing the bottom vertices. Okay? So I want to grab all the bottom vertices. So that one, Shift, come underneath, grab that one, Shift, come underneath, grab that one, and I'll just give a little bit of an opening on the mouth here. And then as I'm looking at this, you can see it's kind of flat here. Lips need a little bit more volume. So to do that, let's go ahead and go to Edge Selection. I'm going to double click this outer edge. And let's go ahead and do a bevel. So I'll hold Shift, hold right click, and then hit bevel. And I can adjust the fraction amount to adjust that lip, like so. And I can grab this, sort of pull that forward. Then I can grab this lower ring and pull that forward. And we're getting some curvature on the lips there. And let me get this corner. We can see there's a bit of an overlap on this. Grab that corner, I'll pull that back. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the inner edge loop here. I'll double click it. And I'm going to hit Extrude, hit W, and then pull back. That's going to give us the beginning of the inside of the mouth. Now we're not going to finish the interior of the mouth just yet, but I want to have it so that I can begin working on it later. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to bevel this outer edge here. So grab that, hold Shift, hold right click, and then bevel. And that's going to round off the lip there. Okay, so that's good for the lips. Let's make sure we're saving our work. Go to File, Save As. I'm going to go down to, let's make this 6. Hit Save. So now we have the lips made. In the next one, we're going to start working on the eye. So save your work, stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thank you for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed that video you just watched, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Or if you want to support the channel, check me out on Patreon or pick up one of my books, Life and Times of Dinah and Marton, or The Guardian's Path of Ascension. Speaking of which, I'm converting The Guardians into a graphic novel / comic book series. Here is a sneak peek. My wonderful artist, Patrick, is doing a great job. I'm excited. I want to push this out as soon as possible. So definitely keep your ears and eyes open for that. I'll be making announcements as we get closer, and I'll post some shots of that as we go. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can check me out on Twitter. I guess now it's X. Who does that? It's BruceRF1 at Twitter, or at whatever the new thing for Twitter is. Anyway, hopefully see you there, and I'll see you guys next time.